Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Collector Car Stories podcast with CollectorCarCanada.ca. I'm sitting beside my longtime friend Michael, whom I'll introduce properly in a moment. But I also want to remind you we have the Car Reviews podcast, where every car offered on our online collector car auction platform and Buy It Now site is reviewed. If you like the videos, please don't forget to share them around to your friends. If you subscribe to our podcast, you'll be the first on the block to see them. And this doesn't cost you anything, but it helps us out. It helps the YouTube algorithm get the video to the people who want to see it. Throw us a like, if you will. So today, I'm pleased to be introducing you to the owner of the two cars, as well as others, but the two cars behind me, my high school friend, Michael. Michael, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, well, thank you. Pleased to be here at my own home and glad to be with you online.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to be at your place. Thank you for agreeing to host. Michael, why don't we start with a little bit about the cars behind us? We'll wait to really get into them as we get in. But as an intro, what are the two cars behind us?
All right. Well, over my shoulder, we've got my 1968 Cadillac, which I purchased in 1998 after my good friend found it on a driveway in Mississauga. So I've had it almost 30 years. Still runs decently, but we can get more into that. And then on the other side, I've got a 2024 VW GTI with this last year of a 6-speed manual, which I acquired after selling my old Corvette on Collector Car Canada and using that and some other funds to replace it.
Oh, the Corvette funds weren't enough to buy the new VW, were they not?
Well, paid for more than the tax anyway.
That's an optimistic way of looking at it. What Michael says is true. Michael was good enough to give us a shot. We listed his 1992 Corvette 6-speed. Pretty low mileage. It was about 120K, wasn't it?
125, I think.
125. If I recall correctly, it did not sell by auction. Did we sell it the day the auction ended, or did it take a day or two?
Within, I would say, in less than an hour after the auction ended. Yeah. I believe you were just out there negotiating with all the close bidders and making a deal, and next thing I knew, it was sold. So
yeah, that's right. That's right. Sometimes that happens. I don't want to get too far into the auctions. Maybe we'll ask you about that as we get into the podcast, what the seller experience was like. But sometimes it happens that we sell to someone who is unwilling to bid in an online auction. More than one Buy It Now buyer has told me that never bid in an online auction, but we're happy to get them after the fact. I suppose they have the risk if someone is willing to buy it by auction. We had a couple auctions end successfully last week. In any event, Michael, just a little bit of foreshadowing, folks. Michael had the great idea of he's at a bit of a crossroads with the Cadillac. 27 years you've had it? You said 98?
98, yeah, coming up on 27 years.
So he downplays the condition of it, and with that in mind, when I saw it, I was surprised at how presentable it is. And we'll get up close to it. But Michael had the great idea, being that he's considering sinking some money into it and sort of committing to the car for much longer, or maybe it's time to let go, because maybe he's $10,000 away from having a car that's worth $5,000 more. So his idea was to do a love it or list it style of series. So we're going to film the first of that today, not the episode we're on right now. And then down the road, after he's done all his due diligence and homework, we'll find out if he decided to
love it or list it. We'll find out.
Wow. So, Michael, the two cars behind us are illustrative that you've got eclectic tastes in automotive, just like I do. So I love that. Why don't we go back in time and tell us about the cars you were interested in owning, both sort of on a dream level and a reality level, back when soon after you got your driver's license?
Oh, sure. I'd love to do that. What guy doesn't want to talk about his dream cars? So thanks for giving me some time here. As a kid, Mom says my first word was car, so I'm a car guy.
Is that right? Before mom?
Before mom or dad or anything. Can't fix much to my standard when it comes to cars, but I am a car guy.
Oh, you do sound a lot like me.
Anyway, I always liked big cars, even when I was a kid. You know, it was the 70s, and I always admired Cadillacs and Buicks and the bigger vehicles. So always wanted a Cadillac. And so my first car, I was looking for a Cadillac. I was a teenager. Couldn't afford one, but ended up with a nice 1980 Buick Park Avenue Coupe, which
80 Park Ave Coupe, okay.
Which is I really enjoyed. Of course, it's Malaise era junk, but
would have been
was good for a couple of years.
Under the hood for that?
Yes, 350.
And
I'll send you the photo.
Horsepower?
I just saw one for sale somewhere that was the same color combo. Never saw one like it. I'll have to flip you the photo, and maybe you can.
We could always superimpose
make it pop up right now. But
what's the color combo, Michael?
It was dark gray with a light gray top. So not popping.
Vinyl top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and
it was
inside?
Burgundy, but the one that I saw the picture of is blue.
So, okay, so nice contrast though.
Yeah, so it was Malaise era junk. I had it for a couple of years. Then of course I did get that Cadillac.
Was it junky? Did you have trouble with it, or was it okay?
Well, it was Malaise era. I suppose I'd get things
but
fixed.
Did you have surprises along the way?
Well, I got it 8 years old, so probably a good number of the things didn't work when I got it, and kept patching them up. And
sure.
But lots of features on those old cars, and it was fine for the time, but a little bit of rust started to get at it.
Oh, right.
And so
when I think of Malaise era, I really think that is a reference to the power of the cars, because a big 350 engine, and I'm sure it was under 200 horsepower.
I think it was something like 125 or something hilarious like that.
Yeah.
So after that, I was a waiter. I was making decent money actually, and I finally got my Cadillac. I sold my 1980 Park Avenue Coupe and got a 1980 Cadillac Seville,
which was the first year of the bustle back.
Probably, I would say, even worse Malaise era than that. It pretty much everything kept going wrong with it, and I had it for a couple of years, and they're pretty brutal. So if you're watching this, just save yourself. Don't get one of those even today.
So you said 80. That's the first year of bustle back, I think. And did you have a gas powered or a diesel?
I had a gas powered 6-liter, but not the V8 6.4, which came out in 81.
Oh, that was 81. Okay.
Okay. But it didn't matter, because if you see one of those, either of those two on the road today, I don't know. It would have had to be in a museum, or
they're probably parked.
Or better for someone to be running those. So enjoyed the big cars. I guess other notable ones, I had a 1986 Buick Regal Coupe at one time.
86. That's your rear drive then.
But anyway, right around then, I actually worked for 6 months as a Volkswagen salesman.
I didn't even have to ask. Tell me what that was like.
Well, it was fun. I mean, I was
at the age of about 20. Probably.
Yeah, and I was bouncing around, doing school and should I work and all that, and ended up doing 6 months at a Volkswagen dealer. It was a good experience. Not something you want to do for years and years, but never owned a Volkswagen. Yeah, true. I never owned a Volkswagen, though I thought about it a lot. So my first one I got last year, and there it is.
So you were at the VW dealership around 1990. There were some cool Golfs, GTIs, Jettas around that era. Scirocco's. I always liked the Scirocco's.
No, the Corrado was brand new then. I didn't sell one of those, but I did sell a couple of Cabriolets.
Golf Cabriolets.
Yeah. And I sold 2 Audis, which made me a superstar for a 20-year-old, because that was the sudden acceleration era, and it wasn't an easy sell.
Unintended acceleration. Just look it up on 60 Minutes. Now, Audis, were they used cars then?
No, they were brand new.
Oh, so it's VW and Audi dealership.
Yeah.
I see. And the Corrado in 90 was the first year? That would have been the G60 engine, the supercharged 4-cylinder.
Yeah, we had a couple in the showroom, and it was fun. When you're 20, you could just, help move cars around on the lot.
Oh, great fun.
Usually you had to take the long way around the neighborhood to move it from one side of the lot to the other. But
you would, yes.
Those were fun days.
I remember I had an automotive job around that time too. They wouldn't let me talk to customers. I was just washing the cars for a rental outfit. And the rental outfit had some Nissan Pulsars, the ones where the hatchback was removable. My story doesn't relate to that, but the gas gauges at the top were a little lazy, and we always kept the cars on the lot with a full tank of gas so that the customer goes out with a full tank. So there was one time with this Pulsar, it read about 7/8 full, So I jammed another $7 worth of gas into it, and then gas is coming back at me. So I figured I better go burn some gas. Don't want the gas leaking on the lot. And the friend who helped got me that job is still a friend today. He might even be watching this. So hi, Andrew. I didn't crash the Pulsar.
I hope so.
Okay, no, that's good fun. And then, so Michael, you're a family man. Kids probably would have arrived soon after that. Did you get out of the? I suppose were you a dad by the time you bought the Caddy when you were 28ish?
I was 28. No, bought the Caddy, and another video will cover more on that, I guess. But yeah, I got it when I was 28. It was. I wouldn't say it was a barn find, but it was in that direction. We got it going, got it looking a lot better, and I used it as a regular car for quite a long time.
Oh, you did. But you said you bought it from a friend who owned it for a year. When your friend went to go look at it the first time, were you with them?
Yeah, I was there.
You accompanied him.
And, well, the background was that, he was a car buddy, but of course he's a mechanic. His name's Glenn. Hopefully he's watching. And he knows how to fix things, unlike me. And he told me, when I told him I wanted to get another 80s Cadillac or a 70s Cadillac, because that was always my thing. And he was like, no, you
60s
you want
cars.
60s, Michael.
Yeah.
So he convinced me to get a 60s Cadillac, and we went to look at this one. He was always buying and selling cars, and he says, hey, I'm going to look at this 68 Caddy. Let's go. And I went along on the ride, and
All right.
It was fun.
I didn't realize you had daily driven it. Did you daily drive it 12 months a year?
I did.
You did?
I got pictures of it in that Lastman snowstorm where they called the army in. I got pictures of it outdoors in Cabbagetown with my street permit, and it was buried.
And did you change the tires for the winter? No, you ran the same tires all year round.
Downtown Toronto.
Yeah. It's true enough.
It's nice and heavy.
When is the last time?
Never got it stuck.
That's true. There's a lot of weight on those all-season treads.
Plus, I know how to drive. That's the
the
other side of the whole tire
very
argument to me.
important
There's
component.
driving and there's tires.
Especially in downtown Toronto, that's a very important component of the story. So it's been over 20 years since it ran in the winter, though, I'm guessing.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Within a few years, we did body and interior, and it made it a nice running car. But then family life came, and I have installed a car baby seat and driven as far as New Liskeard with this Cadillac with my
what a nice
then baby son in it.
Yeah.
In the center of the second row. I think I even did rearward facing a couple of times.
I have to ask about AC and cruise control on a trip like that.
Not much to say because it doesn't have cruise.
It doesn't, eh?
It's a base de Ville, and secondly, AC has never been working.
Okay.
Since I got it.
Okay.
Nor today, which is
All right, so
part
those
of the love it or list it argument. Just saying.
Right. So those children of yours, I won't say they're all grown up now, but they're a little older now. Of course, the time goes by, and you kind of foreshadowed this. I wanted to ask you about this, but you already mentioned how the Golf GTI or GTI? Golf GTI.
It's a Golf GTI.
Golf GTI behind me is a manual transmission. I guess it'd be a 6-speed.
Yep.
And you mentioned that it's the last year for the 6-speed manual. I'm thinking maybe North American market, but maybe around the world. What do I know? And had your kids are all of driving age?
Yeah.
And had they driven manual transmissions before this car came home?
They have not. So a bit of the backstory on that. So we had, as mentioned, the Corvette we had was a manual transmission, and it kind of acted as a third car. When your kids start driving, then they use the main two cars more often, which means your third car gets used more often by you.
Right.
And then
that was probably fine by you.
Corvettes are, but it's remarkably impractical. I mean, I had a Corvette for 18 years. I'm not sure that I need another one. It's just, they're great, but there's about 10 reasons to not use your Corvette. And,
did I mention we just started advertising with the Corvette Club of Ontario, Michael?
I think you did, off camera, but you got it.
We love Corvettes.
Sorry.
But I understand.
Didn't mean to offend the people who have Corvettes know that you have to have other vehicles.
They do.
But when it came to the time where it was becoming a car that was being used frequently, because my wife and kids were, using the other cars, it became pretty impractical. So when it came time it got sold, and I considered getting another Corvette or something like it, but ended up on the GTI really just by doing research and determining what's a fun, reliable car to have. And so we ended up with getting what is the last 6-speed you can get in North America for a Golf GTI. And now it's just much more practical, and we use it more often. My wife's a farm girl, knows how to drive standard, and she doesn't mind using it. Kids, I've given my son a lesson. I think he would
Before you get into
enjoy
this,
more lessons.
Before you started your research for the car you're going to replace the Corvette with, had you decided already you were going to buy a manual transmission car?
I think it would have been a preference.
Okay.
Because it was fun to have the manual Corvette.
Because I'm wondering if that was making sure your kids learn was part of your criteria.
No, not really.
No.
I mean, I knew that if they were using the other cars and I ended up using the GTI, I told them when I got it, I said, if anybody wants to learn, I'll teach you. So response from my oldest was he's had a lesson. He would take more. My middle child, Eleanor, she immediately said something like, "That's so stupid. Why didn't you just get one we could all drive?"
That's what I was after, Michael.
And my youngest daughter she's about to get her license. She's got all of grade 12 coming up, and she could roll in a GTI from time to time if she wanted to. So she's going to need to learn how to drive it if she wants.
It's funny, the boys with their GTIs will be envious because theirs will all be automatics.
Yeah, if they have them at all. But this one's pretty cool. Just saying.
And so it's a 2024. We're shooting this in 2025. Oh, I know when you bought it soon after you sold the Corvette, which I think was around July of last year.
Yeah, I ended up getting it in the fall.
Okay, so it's been in the family for under a year. Has it been driven? Has it got more than 10,000 kilometers?
It's got about 5. It's
only got 5K.
We chose to, it was brand new. We chose to not drive it in the winter because kids with summer jobs don't need your cars as much in the winter, so we can get by without a third vehicle in the winter months. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like all kinds of cars, not just sports cars and old Cadillacs, but a lot of modern cars are pretty amazing. So.
But what's been the ownership experience like with the Golf GTI so far?
It's been great. I mean, we use it. It's very pleasing. There's a lot of things about it. I think just it has a wide appeal. Like if you show it to a young kid or an older person or non-car enthusiasts, they just get excited about it.
Lots of people like it.
A lot of things light up at night. It's like the door handles and stuff, and it
like that.
Beams things on the ground. We didn't know that, but I mean, the first time I turned it on at night, I almost fell over. I was like, wow, this is really cool. And then it has all the things that modern cars have, like you can change the colors in the interior and lots of little quirky things that some auto reviewers don't like. A lot of, instead of knobs, you have to kind of swipe to do your volume, or you swipe without even touching sometimes, or you just kind of go like this and the sunroof closes and without touching anything, and it's kind of got fun quirks. Perhaps would be annoying if it was your everyday car, but if it's a third car, it's kind of fun. Mm-hmm. But it drives great. It's fast. I think spec wise it's probably as fast as my old Corvette. I mean, there's 30-year technology difference, but and then of course if you go hard on it, you're not afraid to break anything because it's all new.
Right. Well, I thought of that when you were talking about parking it outside too. Wasn't punishing a collector car.
I know. I got sad because the brake rotors. Somebody put in the comments, "What do I do about rusty brake rotors if I park it outside for the winter?" It takes a few weeks for it to kind of come off.
That long, eh?
It looks ugly for a while.
It does look ugly.
That's kind of one of my major complaints. So, not like owning a vintage car. It's like your main thing is, brake rotors kind of rust if I leave it out in the carport for a few months in the winter. Mm-hmm. The worst problems to have.
Would the Cadillac have any brake rotors?
It would not.
I didn't think so. It'd be drums all around. Yeah. Very good. Michael, I just want to say thank you again for joining us. I have a feeling the audience is liking this, but the better part's about to come.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, and hope you all stay tuned.
Right on.